With the playing of our national anthem, the Mets are on the field, and young Tom Seaver is out there on the mound. Tom Seaver is an alumnus of the University of Southern California in Los Angeles, and he was originally drafted by the Los Angeles Dodgers in the free agent draft. However, he elected at that time to remain in school, was later signed illegally by the Atlanta Braves, and the commissioner's office made him available then to any team in the majors that wanted to match the bonus price of $50,000. It was matched by the Philadelphia Phillies, the Cleveland Indians, and the New York Mets, and the name was drawn out of a hat, and Seaver came to the Mets. So he is pitching against the Dodgers here tonight. The Mets on the field have Ed Kranepool at first base. Jerry Buchek is at second. Bud Harrelson is at shortstop, and Ed Charles is around at third. Tommy Davis in left field, Cleon Jones in center field, Ron Swoboda in right field. John Sullivan catching again tonight.
For the Los Angeles Dodgers, leading off.
And now for the Dodgers.
Number 28.
Wes Parker, switch hitting first baseman, is up to lead off with a batting average of .250. He has 1 home run and 6 runs batted in. He and Ron Fairley have been sharing the first base duty this year for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Seaver taking a moment before getting ready to work while Ron Swoboda gets repositioned out in right field. Similarly, the Mets today reinstated pitcher Ron Taylor from the disabled list. He was placed on the disabled list April 26th after suffering spasms of the lower back. So, Taylor is back and available. Here's the pitch to the left-hand batter. Swung on and missed, strike one, and the game is underway at Shea Stadium in New York. Waiting on deck is Ron Hunt. Tom Seaver with a strike one delivery, and it is outside. Seaver spent the weekend on reserve duty with the Marine Corps. Here's the 1-1 offering. Check swing, and it is through for a strike. 1-2. Bob Engel, the umpire behind the plate, says he took it for an out, so it's 1-2. Seaver's 1-2 delivery. Swung on and fouled back into the seats and out of play. Ron Hutt and Jim Hickman came out early this afternoon and did a little visiting around with the staff here at Shea Stadium. Here's a 1-2 delivery. And it's low for a ball, 2-2. Jim Gilliam on the coaching lines at first, and Preston Gomez is the Dodger coach around at third. Pitch is low for a ball. Shot full at 3-2. The pitching coach of the Dodgers is Lefty Phillips, talking to Lefty before the ball game, and he was recalling days when, as a small boy, he played with Ralph Kiner on the sandlots of Los Angeles. There's a swing and a miss, and Seaver gets a strikeout. And when he was a pitcher in those days, we called him Hook Phillips because he had a good left-handed curveball. He remarked to me that was a long time ago. It wasn't that long, was it, Ralph? Just yesterday. That's what I thought. Here's Ron Hutt coming up. Ron Hutt is hitting .271. He has 6 doubles, 2 triples, 11 runs batted in. A long-time favorite here in New York with the Mets. Traded to the Dodgers over the winter along with Jim Hickman. The deal was Hutt and Hickman for Tommy Davis and Darrell Griffith, and then Darrell Griffith was traded on to Houston in exchange for Sandy Alomar. Seaver's pitch to the right-hand batter. Hit on the ground to third. Charles Short hops the ball. Straightens up and sidearms to Kranepool in time. Hunt is out third to first. That brings up Willie Davis back in the lineup after having been out with an ankle injury. He is hitting .275 with 1 home run and 6 runs batted in. He is a left-hand batter with a world of speed who would like to forget one game of last fall's World Series against the Baltimore Orioles, in which he committed 3 errors. He's in and waiting now. Seaver's pitch. In for a called strike. Off the 20. The Dodgers say that the 2 bright spots in their lineup have been Ron Hutt and Jim Lefevre. They say that Hutt has done everything expected of him up to now. Here's a pitch, and it is inside. 1-1. 2 men out, nobody on base. This is a Dodger team without Tommy Davis, without Maury Wills, without Sandy Koufax. Here's a pitch, and it's low and away for a ball. 2-1 to Willie Davis. Two-one delivery. Swung on, hit high in the air to left field, and Tommy Davis ranges over and makes the catch. Willie Davis flying out to Tommy Davis on left. The side is out. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. The score in the middle of the first is the Dodgers nothing and the Mets coming to bat. Now the New York Mets will be coming up here in the bottom half of the first inning. The Dodgers are on the field. Bill Singer is the pitcher with a record of no wins and one loss. John Roseborough is catching. Wes Parker's at first. Ron Hunt at second. Gene Michael at short. Jim Lefevre at third. Al Ferrara in left. Willie Davis in center. Ron Fairley in right. Switch hitting shortstop. Bud Harrelson is coming up for the Mets. Hitting .236. He has 6 runs batted in. 3 doubles and 1 triple. Batting left-handed, he's hitting .298 for the season. Batting left against right-hander Bill Singer here, and he fouls it off for strike one. Singer is 23 years of age. He's 6 feet 4 inches tall, a 200-pounder from Pomona, California. Last year with Spokane, he was 13-11 with the Dodgers. 0-0 in 3 games. Pitches on the inside corner for a call, strike 2. Bill Singer has no record against the New York Mets. Ed Kranepool is waiting on deck. Singer takes the sign and starts to pump, and now steps off and starts over again. 2-strike delivery. Chopped on the ground, foul off his foot. It's rolling on out to first where Parker gloves it and tosses it over to Tom Gorman for inspection. It's been an interesting year for the Dodgers. They got off in a streak of cold weather in Los Angeles. Topcoat weather for about 2 weeks and sustained a rain out, the first that they have had since going to Los Angeles in 1958. High pitch outside. It's 1-2. They traded away their team captain, Maury Wills, to the Pittsburgh Pirates in exchange for Gene Michael and Bob Bailey. Bob Bailey is no longer in the starting lineup. Al Ferrara is the regular left fielder these days. Lou Johnson, of course, out with an injury. Here's a pitch outside. It's 2-2. And Sandy Koufax retired and went into the broadcasting business. 2-2 pitch. Misses outside, and it's 3-2. Bill Singer tonight is making his second start of the season. He started against the Chicago Cubs on May 14th, pitched 5 innings in a 6-3 Dodger loss. Here's a foul ball off and out of play. Singer was not involved in the decision against Chicago. He lost in relief to Pittsburgh 6-5 on May 3rd. Playing a foul ball back in out of play. And the count continues 3-2 to Bud Harrelson. Yogi Berra is on the coaching lines at first base for the Mets, and Salty Parker is the Met coach around at third. And the payoff pitch is inside, and Harrison draws a leadoff walk. So the Mets pick up an early base runner, and here comes Ed Kranepool with a batting average of .346. 3 homers and 16 runs batted in. That was the 10th walk drawn this season by Harrelson. That's second on the Mets to Ken Boyer, who has drawn 14. Wes Parker comes over to hold at first against the run of Harrelson. Off the stretch, Singer's pitch to Kranepool in for a called strike. Ed Charles moves out on deck. Charles is playing third base tonight for the Mets. Ken Boyer is still trouble with a bruised big toe. He is here in uniform, available for pinch hitting duty. So the first is not in time. Ed Kranepool is the 4th leading hitter in the National League. Roberto Clemente is on top with a .388, followed by Roberto Clemente and Rusty Staub, and then Ed Kranepool. Here's a throw over, and not in time, as Harrelson got back on a close play. The ball rolled out of the glove of Wes Parker, just a couple of feet away. He retrieves it. Again, a throw over, and it's close. He grabbed the bag with his bare hand, getting back safely. A close play on Harrison that time. stretched out full length and managed to grab that bag with his bare hand. Here's a swing and a ground ball to the right of Hunt. He smothers the ball, crosses to second for the fourth, and Cranfield is on at first. Ron Hunt smothered that one to his right. He stretched his body out full length and then tossed the ball over to Gene Michael for the fourth on Harrelson. Cranfield is on at first, and Ed Charles is coming up.
Ed Charles, number 24.
Ed Charleston's coming to the Mets from the Kansas City A's. Has batted .238. That's 5 for 21. One double and one run batted in. He's a right-hand batter. No score. We're in the bottom half of the first. Fingers pitches here on the ground up the middle for a base hit. Cranfield around second. Holds there. Willie Davis with a throw to Michael. Off his glove and on over to Lefevre at the bag at third. But Cranfield is holding at second. Charles is on with a single, and here comes Tommy Davis.
Tommy Davis, number 12.
Tommy Davis is hitting an even .300. He has 4 home runs and 11 runs batted in. Having spent his entire Major League career with the Dodgers until this year. Tommy Davis, a native of Brooklyn. He signed with the Dodgers and then went with them to Los Angeles, where twice he led the Major Leagues in batting, 1962 and 63. Curveball catches the outside corner for a called strike. Jerry Buchek moves out on deck for the Mets, who have runners at first and second with one man out. Now again the pitch, swung on and missed. Tommy Davis really took a riffle at that one, a 2-strike count. Now Davis back into the batter's box. Steps out once again. Ed Charles, the runner at first. Ed Cranfield, the runner at second. One man out for the Mets. Low, it bounced away from catcher John Roseberry. No advance as he retrieves it. That ball hit in the dirt in front of the plate and was blocked by Roseberry off the first baseline. He kept it in front of Cranfield, came off with a good lead, ready to go, and then went back to the bag at second. A count of 1-2 to Tommy Davis. Curveball misses outside. 2-2 now. To the Mets cleanup batter. Singer taking a sign from John Roseberry. 2-2 pitch, swung on and popped down the line and right, and it's going to drop in there for a base hit. Cranfield is coming home. Cranfield scores. Fairley throw goes to second. Tommy Davis slides in, and he's out at second base. Holding at third is Ed Charles. Fairley to Michael for the out on Tommy Davis at second. The Mets picked up a run and are out in front by a score of 1-0. Give Tommy Davis a single right and a run batted in. Ed Charles is at third, 2 away. Jerry Buchek the batter.
Number 1.
9-6 if you're scoring on Tommy Davis at second. Ron Fairley to Gene Michael. Now Jerry Buchek, a right-hand batter, is up hitting .267 with 5 home runs. He leads the Mets in that department and 12 runs batted in. He trails Cranfield by 1 in that department. Here's a foul ball back and out of play. Chuck Hiller is back at the ballpark tonight. He was examined this afternoon by Dr. Peter Lamont for the right hand, which he fractured on May 3rd. Here's a foul ball back into the stands out of play, a 2-strike count. Hiller has been recuperating at his McHenry, Illinois home. Bill Singer works a 2-strike pitch to Buchek, swung on and fouled off out of play. Charles tags up at third. 2-strike count with 2 men out. Singer again is getting set to work. He's working straight away with a runner at third. 2-strike pitch to Boucher. Foul back off the screen and out of play, and the count holds at 2 strikes. And it's in for a call, strike 3. Singer chalks up his first strikeout. The Mets got a run on a walk and 2 hits. No errors and 1 left. At the end of an inning, it's the Mets 1, the Dodgers nothing, and here's Ralph Kiner. Oh. All right, Ralph Kiner, we're going to the top half of the second inning. Incidentally, beginning tonight, the Mets will hoist an orange flag for victory on the flagpole in center field, or a blue flag for defeat after each home game. A new custom being installed here at Shea Stadium. Here's Ron Fairley coming up.
Number 6.
Hitting .267 with 4 home runs and 20 runs batted in. So to the elder statesman, or one of them, of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Came up to them in 1959. And right off the campus at the University of Southern California. Tom Seaver's pitch. It's deep to right. Could be. It's way back there to the corner, and it is a home run for Ron Fairley. He lofted that one right into the seats down over the auxiliary scoreboard. Home run number 5 for Ron Fairley, and it is a 1-1 ball game. Ron Fairley of Southern Cal hit the home run off Tom Seaver of Southern Cal.
Number 5. Jim Lefevre. Number 5.
Now Jim Lefevre is coming up. Switch hitting third baseman, batting left against right-hander Tom Seaver. And the pitch is low for a ball. Lefevre's hitting .299. He has 1 home run and 18 runs batted in. John Roseberry has moved out on deck. Seaver's pitch swung on and pops up foul back into the seats and out of play. So it's a 1-1 count. In the National League tonight at the end of a half inning, the Giants nothing and the Phillies coming to bat. Gaylord Perry against Jim Bunning. Pittsburgh at Houston in the Astrodome, and the warm-up, Tommy Sisk for Pittsburgh and Chris Zachary for the Houston Astros. A bobtail schedule. Here's a swing and a drive into center for a base hit for Lefevre. One hopped out there by Cleon Jones and played back.
Batting on the 6th position.
Lefevre holds it first. Nobody out, and John Roseberry coming up.
John Roseboro.
Roseberry, left-hand batting catcher, hitting .309, 1 homer, 6 runs batted in. Rainpool holds against the runner. Lefevre at first. Seaver off the stretch, turns and throws over to first. Not in time. In the American League at the end of a half inning, the Yankees nothing, the Baltimore Orioles coming to bat. Fred Talbot against Tom Phoebus. Frank Robinson is now homered in the first with 1 on for Baltimore. There's a dive to center field, and Cleon Jones ranges over and back. Makes the catch of the sinking line. Drive. Flips it back in halfway on the drive to center. Lefevre goes back to the bag at first. Ball was well hit, but line to center field. Now Brooklyn-born Al Ferraro is coming up. The regular left fielder these days for the Dodgers is hitting .188. He has 4 homers and 7 runs batted in. In that game in Baltimore, Frank Robinson has hit his 10th homer of the season with a man on to send Baltimore out in front of the Yankees 2-0. The White Sox are at Minnesota on a latest start. At the end of 2 innings, Cleveland 2, Washington nothing. Camilo Pascual against Steve Hargan. Kansas City at California in a latest start. Now the pitch to Ferraro, and it's in there for a called strike. Outfield trio of Ferraro, Willie Davis, and Ron Fairley in the lineup these days for the Los Angeles Dodgers. There's a swing and a foul ball to the right side and out of play. Bob Bailey saw some outfield duty, but he's hitting 143. Jim Hickman has seen some outfield duty. He's hitting 178. The Dodgers, you'll recall, recently got Lynn Gabrielson from the California Angels. They're carrying 3 catchers in addition to Roseberry. They have Jeff Torborg and Jimmy Campanis. Now Seaver steps off the rubber, and at the plate, Ferraro steps out of the batter's box. Curveball, and it's right in there for a call, strike three. Seaver got the good curveball over to Ferrara and caught him looking. 2 strikeouts to Seaver.
Shortstop.
And Gene Michael is coming up. He's hitting .218. He has 5 runs batted in. Having come over to the Dodgers from the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. They had him at Columbus mostly. Had him up part of last year. Now throw to first, not in time. Michael is a switch hitter batting left against right-hand pitcher Tom Seaver. Columbus last year he hit .289. With the Pirates in 30 games he hit .152. The pitch is in for a strike. Two men out with a runner at first and the score tied 1-1 here at Shea Stadium. Pitch to Michael is in for a call, strike 2. Michael bats number 8 in the order. Pitcher Bill Singer with a jacket on is kneeling on deck. The Fever takes his lead at first. Here is a 2-strike pitch. Turns him inside high and tight. It's 1-2. At the conclusion of this 3-game series, the Dodgers go from here to San Francisco. They came in here from Chicago. This will be a 1-2 offering. Curveball that is hit in the air into short center field. Cleon Jones races in, stops, and makes the catch. So the side is out with a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left in the middle of the second. Dodgers 1, Mets 1. We're going now to the bottom of the second, but before we do, we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network. Nelson with Ralph Tanner and Bob Murphy at Shea Stadium in New York. Cleon Jones is coming up for the Mets here in the bottom of the second. Hitting .132, he has 2 homers, one of which he hit yesterday. He has 4 runs batted in. Right-hand batter facing right-hand pitcher, Bill Singer. Singer's pitch is fouled off to the right side, out of play, and it's strike 1. Ron Swoboda has moved out on deck now. Strike 1 delivery is inside low. It's 1-1. Manager Walter Austin is ready to admit that the plight of the Dodgers is not entirely unlike it was in 1958, the first year that the Dodgers went to Los Angeles. That year they finished 7th in the standings. There's a swing and a ground ball to third, taken by Lefebvre, gun across in time, and Jones grounds out third to first. That will bring up Ron Swoboda, hitting .246 with 1 home run and 4 runs batted in. The team that manager Austin took to the coast was a power team, taken from Ebbets Field to the Los Angeles Coliseum. And from that time on, they began to build a defensive, pitching, tight defensive team. There's a swing and a foul ball to the right side out of play. Then moved on into present Dodger Stadium with that kind of a ball club in 1962. But now with Koufax gone and Wills gone, Tommy Davis gone, it's a different kind of a ball club. Here's a swing out of foul ball into the right side out of play. Count of 2 strikes. John Sullivan has moved out on deck. Here's a pitch swung on and missed. Singer came overhand and struck Swoboda out. 2 strikeouts, 2 men out for the Mets in the bottom of the second, and Sullivan's coming up. Hitting .267 with 1 run batted in. He's a left-hand batting catcher. Manager Austin says that Phil Regan in his bullpen is throwing as well as he did last year. Their statistics aren't quite as impressive. Says Drysdale is pitching excellent baseball. Little groundskeeping is done by Singer as he chases a hot dog wrapper down there off the mound onto the grass of the infield and finally corrals it and puts it in his hip pocket. There's a swing and a foul ball off and out of play, right off the foot of John Sullivan. Tom Seaver, with the jacket on, is on deck for the Mets. The score is tied 1-1. Tomorrow night, Don Drysdale will be pitching for the Dodgers against Chuck Estrada for the New York Mets. There's a swing and a miss. 2-strike count. When the Mets added Ron Taylor, reinstated Ron Taylor, they didn't have to cut anybody off the roster because they were at 24, so they're back to full strength now at 25 men. This pitch is low. It's 1-2. Two away, nobody on base. Outside, 2-2. When the Mets conclude this current homestand, they will go directly to Los Angeles to face the Dodgers for the first time this year on the coast. Two delivery is let up low, and it's out full at 3-2. Now a payoff pitch from Singer to Sullivan. Curveball in for a call, strike 3. As Singer got the good curveball into the strike zone.
WGY Schenectady.
The Dodgers won and the Mets won.
Have you heard what's going on at Gulf service stations? It's Big Tire Days at Gulf. Gulf dealers are now featuring outstanding values on all Gulf tires. Big trade-ins, too. Generous allowances on your old tires. Big selections. A complete range of sizes in the entire Gulf tire line. And remember, when you buy Gulf tires with a Gulf travel card, there's no down payment, no carrying charges, and months to pay. Big Tire Days are going on at Gulf. Get in on them.
The end of 2 innings. The Dodgers and the Mets are tied 1-1. We're going to the top half of the third, and coming in here for the play-by-play, Ralph Kiner.
Thank you, Lindsay, and hi, everyone. First man up will be the pitcher, Bill Singer. Bill has been at bat 5 times. No base hits. Right-hand batter, and on the mound for the Mets, Tom Seaver, and he's waiting for the jet to go over before making his pick. And the first pitch is inside. It's ball 1. Fastball moving Singer away from the plate. It'll be Tom Seaver's duty to get Bill Singer, Russ Parker, and Ron Hunt here as his first 3 men. 1-1 ball game. And the right-hander back, and the ball is swung on a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Singer making his first appearance against the Mets. He has a record in the major leagues of 0-2. Next pitch back, called a strike. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Home plate umpire Bob Engel. At first base, Tom Gorman. At second base, Tony Vincent. At third base, Paul Pryor. Outfield very shallow. Now at 1-2, a curveback is hit off the end of the bat foul. Ball rolling off to the right side. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball game, both sides with 2 hits. And the next delivery is over the outside part of the plate. It calls strike 3, and Tom Seaver picks up his 3rd strikeout. He struck out Wes Parker to start the ball game. Picked up his 2nd strikeout against Al Ferrara, and now his 3rd. And that brings up Wes Parker batting for the left-hand side. Parker hitting .248 with 1 home run and 6 runs batted in. And Seaver with the first pitch, a slow curveball, top foul out to the right side. Now the ball being declared a fair ball. Wes Parker never moved. He's still arguing. He's in the batter's box. He never came out. John Sullivan went out to pick it up. He picked it up in fair territory. It appeared at the first that it had hit Parker in the batter's box. He didn't move. The home plate umpire, Bob Engel, waited for a call from Tom Gorman at first base to indicate whether it was fair or not. When Gorman said fair, then the out call was made at first. So the Mets get it out without the runner running. 2 men away, and that brings up Ron Hunt. Ron hit the first pitch he saw in Shea Stadium this year from the standpoint of a Dodger down to third, and he was thrown out. 1-1 ball game. Hunt batting .269. He has no home runs, 11 runs batted in. Hunt batting right-handed, and he takes the first pitch that's high, a fastball missing, ball one. And now Tom Seaver back, and the pitch is too low, ball two. 2 balls and no strikes. Ron Hunt with the Mets had a lifetime batting average of .282. Compiled over 4 years. In that time, he hit 20 home runs, and he had 21 stolen bases. Two balls, no strikes. Tom Seaver now back again. And a breaking ball over the outside corner. Strike one. 2-1. Two balls, one strike. And the next pitch is fouled off. It's 2-2. 2 men out. We're in the top of the third. The score 1-1. At the end of 1, Pittsburgh 1, San Francisco Giants nothing. Make that Philadelphia 1, the San Francisco Giants nothing. Now at 2-2, the pitch is hit down the right field line. Ron Swoboda moving over to the right field corner. He is under the ball. He makes the cut. So Tom Seaver picking up the side in order, and the score. At the end of 2.5 innings, the Dodgers won, the Mets won. Going now to the bottom half of the third. Score tied 1-1, the Dodgers against the Mets. Both sides with 2 hits, and Tom Seaver will be the first batter. Tom was originally drafted by the Dodgers, as Lindsey Nelson told you. He came from USC and played for the baseball coach at USC, Rod Dado. Ron Fairley also attended USC and played for Rod Dado. And surprisingly enough, he didn't know that Tom Seaver had gone to school there. Now the first pitch to Seaver. Down low, it's ball one. Seaver off a tremendous day of batting from his last start. He had a single and 2 doubles, drove in 2 runs, walked once, and had a stolen base. Here's the 1-0 pitch. He takes it low, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Tom did not sign with the Dodgers. He had that prerogative, as they didn't offer him enough money to sign. He held out for the 6 months he had to, and then he was put in the draft again. This time he was drafted by Atlanta. Now the next pitch low, and it's ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Seaver 6 for 15, batting at .400. He has 4 walks to go along, and now the next delivery in. 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike. And Singer back, and the pitch is over at the knees. A fastball through, strike 2. Full count on Tom Seaver. Bill Singer has not given up a walk. Here's the 3-2 pitch inside, ball 4, and there's the first one. So Tom Seaver reaching first base. His last 5 times at bat, 3 times on hits, twice on walks. And the Mets have the go-ahead run at first with no one up, no one out, and Bud Harrelson up. Bud Harrelson walked on a 3-2 pitch his first time up, so that is the second walk that has been given up by Bill Singer. And the first pitch is over the inside corner. Harrelson was in bunting position. It's called a strike. Next pitch with the runner going is in there. Throw down to second base, not in time, and Seaver has his second stolen base of the year. So Bud Harrelson missing the bunt, but Tom Seaver with a great jump, beating the throw down to second base off John Roseborough. Seaver with his second stolen base this year. He does it all. One thing about him, he goes out to win. 2-strike count, the infield drops back, and Bill Singer with the next delivery. It's inside, a breaking ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Singer back to Harrelson, and the ball is lined to center field. It's going to hang up, and Willie Davis comes into one-handed, throwing to second base wildly. Seaver diving back in is in safely. Willie Davis made a shoestring one-hand catch in center field. Tom Seaver didn't think he could get to it, and he was about 40 feet from the bag. He hustled back to second. Willie Davis trying to throw from an underhanded position, threw the ball wild by Ron Hunt at second base, and Tom Seaver got back into the bag. So a great play by Willie Davis for the first out, and that brings up Ed Kranepool, who was robbed of a base hit on a great play by Ron Hunt his first time up. Kranepool batting .342, a left-hand batter. And the first pitch is grouped into center field. Willie Davis, after breaking back, now coming in to make the catch. An easy catch. His throw over to third base keeps Tom Seaver there. Right now, we'd like to go back to the studio for the special news bulletin.
Highly reliable sources in Cairo say Egypt decided tonight to close the Tiran Straits in the Gulf of Aqaba and cut off Israel's shipping to the Red Sea. Israel has announced that such a move would mean a fight. Egyptian sources report that the next Israeli vessel approaching the Straits will be stopped by Egyptian troops manning an outpost at the southern end of the Gulf of Aqaba. The Gulf serves as Israel's only outlet to the Red Sea through the port of Eilat.
First pitch to Ed Charles with 2 men out, a runner at second. Called a strike over the outside corner. Ed singled to center field his first time up. Tie ball game 1-1. The Mets against the Dodgers. Next delivery, bounced slowly out toward shortstop. A tough chance for Michaels. He cannot make the play. He holds onto the ball, throws over to third, but Seaver stays in the bag. So a base hit for Ed Charles, his second in the ball game. Mets have runners at first and third, and the batter coming up is Tommy Davis, who grouped a single to center field, right center field his first time up. Tommy batting at .306. 2 men away, runners at first and third, bottom half of the third. And the first pitch is called a strike. Fastball right at the knees. Seaver moving up the line at third base. Ed Charles with a short lead at first. And the pitch back to Tommy Davis is again a fastball. This one too low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mets now have 1 run and 3 hits. The Dodgers have 1 run and 2 hits. Singer back, and the pitch is way inside, and it hits Tommy Davis on the shoulder. Tommy moving down to first base does not appear to be hurt. That puts Ed Charles down at second. It loads the bases, and the batter coming up is Jerry Buchek.
Second baseman, Jerry Buchek. Number 1.
Tommy Davis is all right. Jerry Buchek batting with the bases loaded. He struck out his first time up. He was called out on strikes. Score tied 1-1. 2 men out, bottom half of the third. Buchek batting .263. He leads the club in home runs with 5. The first pitch is fouled back over the top of the screen. It's strike 1. Buchek has driven in 12 runs this year, 1 short of the club leader, Eddie Kranepool. Now with a chance with runners all the way around. Bill Singer, tall right-hander, 6'3" on the mound. Getting the signs from Johnny Roseborough. Now the one-strike delivery way over the top of the head of Jerry Buchek. 1 ball, 1 strike. In a ball game this year, Bill Singer lost a game for another pitcher when he was trying to walk a batter intentionally and threw one away for a wild pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. And now Singer back again. And the pitch is high. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1 with the bases loaded. That game was against the Pittsburgh Pirates. 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch back. Swung on and foul tipped. Held on to by Johnny Roseborough. It happened back on May the 3rd. He was trying to walk Gene Alley and made a wild pitch. Now 2-2. He looks at third. The bluff up the line by Seaver. The ball is hit off the hand slowly down to third. Lefevre has it. The throw to first base is a little bit wide, but Wes Parker makes a nice shift in the foul territory to take the throw to retire the side. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit. No errors, a walk, a batter hit by a pitch ball, 3 men left on, and the score at the end of 3, the Dodgers won, the Mets won. Okay, Lindsay, it's the top of the 4th, a 1-1 ball game. The Dodgers coming up against Tom Seaver. First batter will be Willie Davis, followed by Ron Fairley, and then Jim Lefevre. Time called momentarily as we waited for the second base umpire, Tony Vinzon, to get back out to the diamond. Willie Davis will lead off. He's batting .272. After 2.5 innings, Philadelphia won, the Giants nothing. Gaylord Perry for the Giants, his record 1-4. Jim Bunning for the Phillies, his record 3-4. And Tom Seaver with his first pitch. It's high, ball 1, a fastball. Willie Davis fought out to left field his first time up. Hit a fastball there. Now the 1-0 pitch. Lined over the head of the second baseman, Jerry Buchek, into right center field. Hustling over is Cleon Jones. He has it, and Willie Davis stops at first. Good play by Cleon Jones to hold Willie Davis at first. Willie said he's still bothered by the sprained ankle that he had earlier this year that kept him out of the lineup for quite some time, and he expects to be bothered by it for quite some time still. Now the batter is Ron Fairley, who had a home run his first time up, his 5th this year. Home run to right field. Ron batting .273. Willie Davis off at first base with a good lead. Tom Seaver with the first pitch. It's fouled back at strike 1. The end of 1/2 inning. Pittsburgh nothing. Houston coming up. Tommy Sisk against Chris Zachary. Over in the American League at the end of 2. Baltimore 5. The Yankees nothing. Talbot knocked out of the box. Tillotson is now pitching for the Yankees. Tom Phoebus going for Baltimore. Frank Robinson, Johnson, and Etchebarren home runs. Frank getting his 10th. Chicago scheduled against the Twins. At the end of 4, Cleveland 2, Washington nothing. Pasquale against Hargan. Kansas City is scheduled against California. Abbreviated schedule here on Monday night. Now the pitch back. It's popped up in the shallow right field. Buchek has to hurry to get back. He's being waved off by Ron Swoboda, and Buchek makes the catch over his shoulder as Swoboda at the last minute sees him and jumps out of the way. They almost collided. Good play by Buchek. One of the tough plays in the game. Holding at first base, Willie Davis, and the Mets have their first out here in the top of the 4th. The game is tied 1-1. Now the batter will be Jim Lefevre, who singled to center field his first time up. Lefevre batting left-handed, hitting .304. Throw to first base. Willie Davis dives back in and arrives there about 4 seconds before the ball. It was just a lob throw. Lefevre is stepping out of the batter's box, now back in. And the pitch to the plate is taken outside. It's ball 1. Willie Davis has 8 stolen bases this year. So it appears he can still run well enough to steal some bases. He does not go. The pitch is over the top of the head of John Sullivan. Ball going back to the screen, and Willie Davis goes down to second. It's a wild pitch, and on the pitch, John Sullivan was completely crossed up. Sullivan goes out, talks with Tom Seaver. Ball wasn't that far over the top of his head. It was just that he was looking for the curveball and never got up to the fastball. And with a fellow as fast as Tom Seaver, that's easy to do. 2-ball, no strike count. The go-ahead run in scoring position here in the fourth inning with one man out. And now the next pitch fouled off, and the count goes to 2-1. Two balls, one strike. Hits are even at 3 apiece. 1-1 ball game. Now it's Seaver at 2-1. And the pitch to Lefevre is down low, and it's ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. On deck batters John Roseborough. Lefevre has driven in 18 runs. He is 2 behind the club leader. Make it 3 behind now. Club leader is Ron Fairley, who got 1 today on the home run. 3-1, and the pitch grounded off the end of the bat in foul territory. It's 3-2. Ron Fairley said before the ball game that there are about 5 of the old veterans on the ball club that think they can win, but the newcomers, not mentioning any names, we're not that sure. And he said, until we're all convinced that we can win, we're not going to have a unit. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Willie Davis trying to bother Tom Seaver at second base, jumping back and forth, so Tom just steps off the pitching rubber. Time is called as Lefevre gets out of the batter's box. Willie doing the shuffle back and forth, trying to distract Tom Seaver. Now Tom asking for another set of signs. And Seaver sets up. The pitch to the plate is fouled off. Fastball fouled on the left side, and the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jim Lefevre, who started off as a bat boy for the Dodgers. He was written up in a book by a former Met bat boy, Dominic Ardovino, who wrote a book about being a bat boy for the Mets. And he said that Lefevre was one of the nicest fellows he ever met, and he had a lot of fun talking to him about being bat boy. McGraw-Hill sale. Here's a 3-2 pitch. A swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Strike 3. Tom Seaver getting his 4th strikeout, his 2nd out here in the inning. And with Willie Davis out at second base, the batter will now be John Roseborough. John Sullivan out to the pitcher's mound, so we'll pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
Hi, neighbor. When the rooster crows at 5:45 a.m., it's time for the Chanticleer. At 12:15, tune in for the Farm Paper.
Here on WGY, Schenectady.
Bob Murphy from Shea Stadium. A 1-1 ball game. The Dodgers batting with 2 out in the top of the 4th. The batter is John Roseborough. Willie Davis at second base, and the first pitch is low. It's ball 1. John lined to center field his first time up. Batting at 3:04. And the next pitch is outside, ball 2. On deck batter, a right-hand batter, Al Ferrara. Looks like Seaver's trying to be overly cautious right here, not caring whether or not he walks Roseborough because he has a right-hand batter coming up. Now the 2-0 delivery, outside again, it's ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. He struck Ferrara out his first time up. Roseborough had hit him sharply, a line drive to center that was caught in his first time up. 3 balls, no strikes. Now Lefevre with the catcher set outside, pitching ball 4. And that's the first walk by Tom Seaver, and it will not go as an intentional pass, but it was intentional. Tom wanting to take his chances with a right-hand batter. Ferrara was called out on strikes his first time up. He has tremendous power. Batting at 186. He's got 4 home runs out of his 13 base hits. And the first pitch, a curve. It's slowly down to short. Bud Harrelson comes up throwing, gets the man at first base to retire the side. So in the inning, no runs, 1 hit. No errors, a walk, and 2 men left on base. And the score at the end of 3.5 innings, the Dodgers won, the Mets won.
Center fielder, Cleon Jones, number 21.
Bottom half of the fourth, the score tied 1-1, and the Mets have Cleon Jones as their leadoff batter. Bill Singer pitching for the Dodgers against Tom Seaver. Bill has given up 1 run and 3 hits. And Tom Seaver the same on the other side. Cleon grounded out to third his first time up. He'll be followed by Ron Swoboda and John Sullivan. Cleon's still looking to break that slump that's got him. He's batting 130. And the first pitch. Breaking ball over, it's strike 1. Singer has good stuff. His control has not been too good. He has walked 2 batters. Has been behind a few. Here's the 1 strike delivery. Breaking ball, and Jones starts to swing, tries to hold up. He went too far, strike 2. Bill Singer, big, tall right-hander, 6'3", looking for the sign. Cleon Jones not convinced he went too far, had something to say to Bob Engel. Now the 2-strike delivery. Fastball bounced out to short. Michaels charges, comes up with an underhand throw, and throws him out at first base by a stride. Gene Michaels, the shortstop for the Dodgers.
Right
now with 1 away, the batter be Ron Swoboda.
Swoboda, number 4.
Ron struck out swinging at a fastball his first time up. Batting 241. And the first pitch to the right-hand batter, a high curve, it's ball 1. Ron with 1 home run and 4 runs batted in. Playing in his 20th ball game this year. 1-1 ball game. 1 out, bottom half of the fourth. First meeting between the Dodgers and Mets. Curveball swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ron with a good cut at the curve, and he couldn't find it. Now Singer back again. This time he tries a fastball and gets it right on by. Strike 2. 1-2. And Bill Singer back again. And a curveball is swung on and missed, strike 3, and Swoboda goes down swinging. That is the 3rd strikeout. Make it the 4th strikeout in the ball game for Singer, and it brings up John Sullivan, who struck out his first time up.
Catcher, John Sullivan, number 20.
Sullivan batting .258, a left-hand batter. And a changeup is over, a called strike. Two men away, bottom half of the 4th inning. Singer back, and a fastball is over, strike 2. Singer coming right through with a strong inning so far. Two-strike count, and Singer back to John Sullivan. And a curveball gets him looking. 2 strikeouts in a row, his 5th in the ball game, and the first time since the 2nd inning he has retired the side in order. And the score at the end of 4, the Dodgers won, the Mets won. Now once more,
Michael, number 26.
Gene Michaels coming up to lead off for the Dodgers. Here in the top half of the 5th inning of a game that is tied 1-1. Michael is a switch hitter, batting left here. Young Tom Seaver, 22 years of age, on the mound tonight for the Mets, and Bill Singer, 23 years of age, is pitching for the Los Angeles Dodgers. This pitch is bunted on and fouled off as Michael tries to bunt his way on. Strike 1. At Columbus, Gene Michael was a teammate of the Mets outfielder Don Bosch. There's a swing and a foul ball back in out of play. A 2-strike count. Bill Singer is waiting on deck. Seaver with a 2-strike delivery. Curveball, and it is sliced into right field for a base hit. Turning and holding is Gene Michael, a leadoff hit for the Dodgers here in the top of the 5th, and Bill Singer is coming up. He's been up one time, was called out on strikes, so the Mets must protect here against the sacrifice possibility. Have you wished your favorite bartender a happy National Tavern Month yet? You only have till the end of May to do it, and while you're at it, why don't you buy him a nice cold Rheingold? Here's a throw over to first base, not in time. Third baseman Ed Charles had come way in on the grass in anticipation of a bunt attempt. Singer's a right-hand batter. Cranepool holds against the runner at first, ready to charge. Seaver up and said, here's the pitch. Singer bunts, and it's foul. Coming on back out of play, strike one. Manager Walter Alston with the sacrifice on. You may recall that Walter Alston took over as manager of the then Brooklyn Dodgers in 1954. Has been at the helm ever since. He succeeded Charlie Dressen, the late Charlie Dressen. Now Seaver steps off and takes a look around. Sets up again with Michael leading at first base. Singer squares to bunt, bunts it up into the air, and Cranepool makes the catch in fair territory. Holding at first is Michael. Bill Singer, trying to sacrifice instead, has bunted the ball into the air to Cranepool. Now Wes Parker's coming up. He's a switch hitter also, batting left and out. He has struck out and grounded out so far.
Parker, number 28.
Wes Parker also attended the University of Southern California, but he did not play baseball there. He had already exhausted his baseball eligibility before he enrolled at Southern Cal. Seaver sets up, deals a pitch, bunted foul. He was trying to dump that one down on the left side for a base hit, but instead fouled it off for strike one. Ron Hunt is waiting on deck. There's a throw to first, and Michael gets back safely. Now again, Seaver checks the runner, deals a pitch to Parker, and it's low for a ball. During spring training, the Dodgers could not determine exactly who was going to be their shortstop. They had Dick Schofield, they had John Kennedy, they had Gene Michael. Well, John Kennedy was sold to the New York Yankees. Schofield is still with the ball club, and Michael is the shortstop. Runner goes, swinging a ground ball to second. Buchek takes it, has to go to first in time. They played a hit and run, moving Michael to second, 2 away, and Ron Hunt comes up. Hunt has grounded out third to first, and he floated out to right field.
Hunt, number 33.
Hunt's batting average at this moment, .267. 11 runs batted in. Hunt steps in and now steps out, wearing the same number that he wore during his years with the Mets, number 33. Seaver's pitch is high for a ball. 1-0. Ron Hunt from Overland, Missouri, chokes up on the bat. 1-0 pitch, and it's low for a ball, 2-0. Gene Michael, the runner at second. 2 men out. Willie Davis waiting on deck. The score tied 1-1 here in the top half of the 5th inning. Here's a 2-0 delivery, and it's right down the pipe for a called strike. It's 2-1 to Hunt. Hunt back in and waiting, swinging the bat as he waits. Now he has it cut. 2-1 pitch. Right in there for a call. Strike 2. Ron Hunt came up to the Mets in 1963. Coming from Austin in the Texas League. He was a conditional purchase from the Milwaukee Braves organization at the time. This will be a 2-2 delivery. Swung on it in the air to short right field. Buchek goes out, but Swoboda calls this time. Buchek stops, and Swoboda makes the catch. So the side is out. No runs are hit, no errors, one left in the middle of the fifth. Dodgers won, the Mets won. Time of the fifth inning. It'll be Tom Seaver coming up to lead off for the Mets. Facing right-hander Bill Singer, who started and has been in all the way for the Los Angeles Dodgers. There are many of those who follow the Los Angeles Dodgers day by day, travel with the team, who are of the opinion that the Dodgers are almost certainly doomed to a second division finish this year, saying that they don't think they can finish ahead of Cincinnati or Pittsburgh or St. Louis or San Francisco or Atlanta, and that would put them in the second division right there. Here's a pitch to a right-hand batter, and it is grouped out to second to Hunt for the out. A broken bat boot by Tom Seaver to Ron Hunt at second, and there's one away. Now Bud Harrelson will be coming up. Walked and lined out to center field. With Tom Seaver on at second. In the third inning, Harrelson lined one out to short center, and Willie Davis made a shoestring catch of the ball. The Dodgers have a run on 4 hits, and the Mets have a run on 3 hits. We're in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Pitch to Harrelson. In for a strike. He shortened up as though to bunt, and that brought third baseman Jim Lefevre in a few steps. Now the strike one delivery, and it's in for a call, strike 2. Fastball down the pipe. It'll be fraternal night here tomorrow night with the Mets and Dodgers meeting. Here's a breaking pitch outside. Wednesday night, Jack Fisher will be the Met pitcher, and Claude Osteen will be going for the Dodgers on Wednesday night. Fastball that is inside, and it's 2-2 now to Bud Harrelson. Here's a swing and a ground ball. That is second by Parker to his right. He placed the Singer covering, and just in time to get Harrelson by a stride. Parker moved swiftly to his right that time, gloved the ball, and then played it to Bill Singer covering at first as Harrelson sped down the line. 2 away. Ed Cranefield's coming up. Hit into a force play with a ground ball to second. In the first inning, Ron Hunt made a great stop with a ground smash, and Cranefield flied to center in the third inning. Yesterday, his consecutive game hitting streak ended at 13 straight games. Swinging a drive down the right field line, and he started another drive as it is cut off over there by Fairley. He's going to try for 2 to throw to second, and he is safe at second base. Ed Cranefield sliding and safely at second as Fairley's throw was to Michael, but Cranefield hit the dirt and was in safely with a double. For Cranefield, his 4th double of this season. Let's have a runner at second. Now 2 men out, and Ed Charles is up. Charles is 2 for 2 in this game tonight, a right-hand batter. The hits are all even at 4 each, and the runs are all even at 1 each. Singer off the stretch, and the pitch is low and away and coming on back. Moving to third is Cranefield. Roseberry chasing the ball. Now he picks it up deliberately. Singer covering the plate. It's a wild pitch. Roseberry chased the ball back, and then when he got within range to where he could pick it up, he was sort of daring Cranefield to try for the plate, as he just kept it in sight and did not pick it up for a moment. Cranefield is brushing himself off at third, Count is 1-0 to Charles with 2 men out and a runner at third, and the score tied 1-1. Here's a pitch, a check swing, ground ball to right field for a base hit. Plainfield scores, and Charles turns and holds at first with a ground single to right and a run batted in. His third hit of the night. That was a check swing, and it came as something of a surprise even to Charles. Tommy Davis is coming up. So the Mets have taken a lead by a score of 2-1 over the Dodgers here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. John Roseborough has gone out for a word with Bill Singer. Tommy Davis coming up. Tommy singled to right to drive in a run in the first inning. He was hit by a pitch ball in the bottom of the third. It's the first time that Tommy Davis has ever played against the Dodgers. Charles leads at first. There's a breaking pitch swung on and missed for strike one. Gary Buchek has moved out to the on-deck circle. Mets have 2 runs on 5 hits, and the Dodgers have 1 run on 4 hits. Here's a throw to first. Charles is back safely. Ed Charles, 3 for 3 in tonight's game. Here's the strike one pitch to Davis. Swung on and lined at the center field for a base hit. Ed Charles is on his way to third. Willie Davis up with the ball. Plays to second. No play on Charles, arriving safely at third. And Tommy Davis is on with his second hit of the night. Soft liner into center. Gives the Mets runners at first and third. 2 men out. Buchek coming up.
Second baseman, Jerry.
Buchek was called out on strikes and grounded out third to first. Buchek, a right-hand batter, in and waiting. Right-hand pitcher Bill Singer off the stretch. Pitch is swung on and hit in the air to short center. Willie Davis is coming in, and he gets there, and he makes the catch. So the side is out. Mets get a run on 3 hits. No errors, 2 left. At the end of 5, it is the Mets 2, the Dodgers 1. Through 5 innings of play, the Mets 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Dodgers 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. In the National League tonight, at the end of 4 1/2, the Phillies won, the Giants nothing. Gaylord Perry against Jim Bunning. The end of 3 1/2, the Pirates won, the Astros nothing. Tommy Silk against Chris Zachary. The American League at the end of 4, the Baltimore Orioles 5, the New York Yankees nothing. Fred Talbot relieved by Thad Tillotson in the second inning for the Yanks. Tom Phoebus pitching for Baltimore. Frank Robinson hit his 10th homer of the season in the first with 1 on. Johnson and Echebarren have homered in the ballgame also. Here's Willie Davis up for the Dodgers. Seaver's pitch is outside. Minnesota, the Chicago White Sox won. The Twins coming up in the first inning. Joel Harlan against Jim Cott. And at the end of 5 1/2, the Cleveland Indians 3 and the Washington Senators nothing. Camilo Pascual relieved by Darrell Knowles in the 6th inning. Willie Davis swings and pops the foul up back of the bag at third. Ed Charles is there, and he makes the grab. Davis fouling out to Charles at third, and that brings up Ron Fairley. In that Washington-Cleveland game, Steve Hargan is pitching for Cleveland. Lee May and Chuck Hinton have hit home runs for the Cleveland Indians. Kansas City A's are at California against the Angels in a later start. Ron Fairley homered in the second inning to account for the Dodger run. He popped out to second base in the 4th, popped it out into medium right field, and second baseman Jerry Buchek went way out there to make the grab. Pitch is high and tight for a ball. The 1-0 delivery is a curveball hit in the air to center field, and Cleon Jones moves back, and makes the catch. 2 away, nobody on base. Now third baseman Jim Lefevre, switch hitter batting left. Single to center and struck out swinging.
Number 5.
Lefevre has a season's batting average of .301. Somebody asked manager Walter Austin in the dugout before the game when he planned to activate Jim Gilliam. That's something that he's done in recent years, start Gilliam as a coach and activate him. He said this year he doesn't think he'll ever get around to that. Here's a swing and a miss. Strike one. The Los Angeles manager says he figures that Gilliam's playing days are over. Here's a pitch hit in the air to center field. Cleon Jones ranges back. He's there, has it lined up, and he makes the catch. Lefevre flies out to center. Sides out in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. In the middle of the sixth, it's the Mets 2 and the Dodgers 1.
Center fielder, Leon Jones, number 21.
In the bottom half of the sixth inning, Cleon Jones is coming up for the Mets. He has grounded out third to first and grounded out short to first. Both starting pitchers are still in the ballgame here at Shea Stadium, the Mets and the Dodgers. Bill Singer takes the sign. The pitch is swung on and missed. He really took a riffle. It's strike one. Again, Singer works. Inside low, and it's 1-1. The Dodgers will be here tomorrow night and Wednesday night. Here's a 1-1 delivery, and it's inside, 2-1. Ron Swoboda is waiting on deck. The 2-1 delivery. Hit on the ground. Over the head of third baseman Lefevre and out into left field for a base hit. Cleon Jones rounds and holds at first. Pounded that one on the ground, and Lefevre moved to his left, but it took a big hop over his outstretched glove and on into left field. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
Hi, this is Jerry Ducey. I'll have good music for you weekday mornings from 10 to 11:30 here on the big bright sound of WGY Schenectady.
There's Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Canner at Shea Stadium. Here is a throw over to first, not in time. The Mets are leading the Dodgers 2-1. A runner at first. Nobody out. Swoboda's at the plate, and Singer throws to first again, not in time. Ron Taylor is throwing in the Met bullpen. Ron Taylor, recently returned to the active list. Here is a pitch high and tight. Bob Miller and Ron Peronowski are up and throwing in the bullpen for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Count of 1 ball and no strikes to Swoboda. Here's a 1-0 delivery, swung on and missed. Swoboda's been up twice and struck out both times. Count of 1-1 now. John Sullivan is on deck for the Mets. Swoboda, that's number 7 in the order. There's a throw to first, and it's not in time. Cleon Jones is back safely. We're in the bottom half of the sixth inning, with the Mets leading 2-1. 1-1 pitch is bunted on and missed. It's strike 2, 1-2. Manager Wes Westrom had gone to the sacrifice with Swoboda up there. Now the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch is low and away. 2-2. Wes Parker, the first baseman, holding against Cleon Jones. Singer takes a moment now, turning his back to the plate, looking around, taking a little breather before getting set to work again to Ron Swoboda. Singer kicks a couple of times at the rubber. Now up and set. Throws to first, Jones back safely. This will be a 2-2 delivery. Foul back and out of play. So the count holds at 2-2 to Ron Swoboda. pitch that is swung on and fouled off right off the ankle of Ron Swoboda as he stood there in the batter's box. Rebounded up the first base line. So the count continues to him at 2-2. In the National League standings, the Dodgers are 2 full games ahead of the New York Mets, but they are all even in the loss column. Here's a swing and a foul ball back and out of play. Count holds at 2-2. Nobody out for the Mets batting here in the bottom half of the 6th. Throw to first, Cleon Jones back safely. Another throw to first, and Jones dives back in safely this time. Two-two pitch to Swoboda with the runner going. It's foul back and out of play. So the count holds at 2-2. I thought for one frightful moment how Mr. Robert Murphy was about to make a play on the foul ball.
Looked like a very easy chance to me, but I had it misjudged.
Very difficult to catch it out there in thin air in that next deck below. This will be another 2-2 pitch to Swoboda. But first a throw over to first, and Cleon Jones is back safely. Swoboda steps out for a minute. Now settles himself back in and measures his stance. 2-2 delivery is high, so the count's out full at 3-2 now to Swoboda. Nobody out, Jones at first. The Mets are leading by a score of 2-1. Ron Peronowski, a left-hander. Bob Miller, a right-hander, throwing in the Dodger bullpen. Jones bluffs, does not go. Here's a swing and a miss at the plate. Jones holds it first. For the third time tonight, Singer has struck out Swoboda. 6 strikeouts overall for the young Dodger pitcher. Now John Sullivan is coming up. He's been up twice, struck out both times. Sullivan, the left-hand batter, in and waiting. Here's a swing and a ground ball. It's going through into right field for a base hit. Cleon Jones rounds second. On his way to third. Fairly through across the diamond. Jones arrives standing up at third. And on at first is John Sullivan with a ground single to right. The Mets have runners at first and third with one man out. And pitcher Tom Seaver coming up. Seaver walked, stole second in the 3rd inning, and he popped out to second base in the 5th inning. Seaver for the season has a batting average of .375. Little conference now at the mound. John Roseborough is out there with Singer, so is shortstop Gene Michael, so is third baseman Jim Lefevre, so umpire Bob Engel decides to join the group and break it up.
Pitcher, Tom Seaver, number 41.
Mets have 2 runs on 8 hits now, and the Dodgers have 1 run on 4 hits. Met runners at first and third take their leads as Seaver has the sign up and set. There's a swing and a foul ball. Off to the right side and out of play. Bill Singer pitching to Tom Seaver. The paid attendance here tonight, 15,250. The total attendance in the park, 15,849. Dodgers will be here tomorrow night and Wednesday night, and there's plenty of room for you. This will be a strike 1 pitch to Tom Seaver. And he bunts the ball up the first base line. Jones is coming to the plate, and he scores! A play made on Jones at the plate as Wes Parker scooped up the ball and flipped it to Roseborough, but Jones slid in with another run, and the Mets lead by a score of 3-1. Holding at second base, John Sullivan, and Seaver is on at first. Sacrifice and a run batted in for Tom Seaver as he pushed that bunt up the first baseline. And here comes manager Walter Austin out of the Dodger dugout, hitting for the mound. He has a left-hander and a right-hander in the bullpen, and a switch hitter is up there for the Mets, Bud Harrelson. Austin has arrived at the mound now, talking to Singer. No sign to the bullpen yet, and now it goes out. The sign has gone for the left-hander. That would be Perinoski. So as he gets to ride in on the electric cart to the mound, coming in to check us out on scores of other games all around the majors, here's Bob Murphy.
Very light schedule in the National League tonight, only 2 other games. And both games are pitching duels. The Phillies lead the Giants 1-0 at the end of 5.5 innings, with Gaylord Perry dueling Jim Bunning. Gaylord Perry of the Giants has certainly been losing some heartbreaking games this year. He was the first pitcher to win 20 in the major leagues last season. Gaylord right now has won 1 and lost 4. Perry, you'll recall, hooked up with Jack Fisher in the 12-inning game at Shea Stadium, won by the Mets in the bottom half of the 12th. So tonight it's Philadelphia 1, San Francisco 0 after 5.5. Perry against Bunning. Pittsburgh leads Houston 1-0 at the end of 4.5. For the Pirates, Tommy Sisk, the young right-hander, with a 1-3 record. And for the Astros, Chris Zachary, promising young right-hander who has yet to win this year and has lost 4 ball games. In the American League, there are 4 night ball games. At Baltimore, Frank Robinson, in the first inning, hit a home run with a man on. For Frank, his 10th of the year. He now is the American League leader. Dave Johnson and Andy Etchebarren have hit solo home runs. It's Baltimore 5, the Yankees 0 at the end of 4.5. Tom Feeble trailing for the Orioles. Fred Talbot was the Yankee starter. Thad Tillotson in the second. And Bulldog Jim Bouton came in the 5th inning. At the end of 1, Minnesota 3, the Chicago White Sox 1. Joel Horlen, unbeaten and with 5 victories, is on the mound for the White Sox. And Jim Cott, the American League's top winner last season, off to a slow start this year, 1-5. The Twins 3, the White Sox 1 at the end of 1. Cleveland leading Washington 4-0 at the end of 6.5. Steve Hargan trying for his 5th win. Camilo Pascual started for Washington. Darrell Knowles of the 6th and Bob Humphreys of the 7th. Home runs by Lee May and Chuck Henry. Later tonight, the Kansas City A's, in 3rd place in the American League, will tackle the cellar-dwelling California Angels in Anaheim, California. So that's the complete rundown. We're ready to resume the action here at Shea, and all set to detail the play for you, Lindsey Nelson.
Thank you very much, Bob Murphy. It's Ron Perinoski, and to make his 20th appearance of this season, the most of any National League pitcher. He was born in Paterson, New Jersey, now makes his home in California. He has pitched 29 innings so far this season, giving up 22 hits and 10 runs. Left-hander, and the pitch to Harrelson, swung on and popped up to deep short. Michael going out into left field, and now Willie Davis comes over, calls him off, and makes the catch. Holding at first and second, Met runners now with 2 men out. Bud Harrelson
First baseman.
popping out to short left center. Michael made the long run out there, and then Willie Davis came over, called him off, and made the catch. Perinoski has an earned run average of 3.11, and his won and loss record is 1 win and 2 losses. Two away, runners at first and second. The Mets are leading in the game by a score of 3-1, and Ed Kranepool is up. He's 1 for 3. He doubled. Down the right field line in the 5th, he scored 2 runs tonight. Perinoski checks runners first and second. The pitch is hit on the ground over the head of Perinoski, taken by Michael, and he throws to first, and the ball is just dug out of there by Parker. It looked for a moment as though he might have dropped it, but he held it in the webbing of the glove. Michael came all the way across on the second base side of the bag on that ground ball to make the play. So the Mets get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. At the end of 6 full innings, it's the Mets 3, the Dodgers 1, and
In the 7th inning, Johnny Roseboro will be leading off against Tom Seaver. Roseboro has lined to center and reached on an intentional walk. New York, 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Dodgers, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors.
Catcher.
Tonight's baseball quiz is up on the message board. Only 2 active players have hit 10 or more Grand Slam homers. Can you name them? And their total number of Grand Slams. Here's the windup and the pitch by Tom Seaver. Misses inside, ball 1. Al Ferrara, the left fielder, is on deck. Then Gene Michael, the shortstop. Fly ball hit high in the air to short center field. Backpedaling is shortstop Bud Harrelson, and he has it for the out. Al Ferrara, the left fielder, has taken a called third strike and bounced out short to first.
Number 9.
Last year, as a part-time outfielder, Al Ferrara in 63 ball games hit .270. He has taken over the left field job now, replacing Bob Bailey. And the breaking ball is low, ball 1. Lou Johnson will not be able to return to the lineup until after the All-Star break. Well, the answer's on the message board. And the pitch is high, ball 1. Said, would you believe Ernie Banks and Hank Aaron are the only 2 active 10 or more Grand Slam hitters, each with 10? And would you also believe a guy named Ralph Kiner quit with 13? The 2-0 delivery. A swing and a miss by Al Ferrara, 2-1. Mets with the outfield deep and around toward left against Ferrara, big right-hand hitter. Inside, ball 3, 3-1. Tom Seaver hoping to win his 4th game of the year. Pitching 3-1. Outside, ball 4, and Ferrara reaches on a walk. That's the second walk given up by Tom Seaver, and the other was an intentional walk.
Michael, number 26.
Now the shortstop, Gene Michael. Michael has skied to center and singled to right center. He has one of the 4 hits given up by Tom Seaver. Lynn Gabrielson is coming out on deck now to bat for the pitcher, Ron Peronowski. He bunts the ball foul down the third base line. The Dodgers 2 behind, but Michael was hoping to bunt for a base hit. Seventh inning, Mets 3, Dodgers 1. Eddie Craneville wants Ron Swoboda to play not quite so deep in right field. Ed Charles in close at third against Gene Michael. The pitch by Seaver, a check swing and a foul ball. And now the count is strike 2 as he jammed it. Outfielder Lynn Gabrielson, a left-hand batter, has come out on deck. He's going to hit for Ron Peronowski. The count is strike 2. Mets have the infield looking for the shot at the twin killing. Harrelson shaded towards second. Now the pitch. A fly ball looped into short to left. Tommy Davis is there under it waiting, and he has it for the out. Now there are 2 away, and Len Gabrielson will bat for Ron Peronowski.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, for Los Angeles, starting for Peronowski, number 14.
Gabrielson, acquired from the Los California Angels, was with the Giants last year and had a good year. Wes Parker is the on-deck batter. Gabrielson, left-hand hitter. He has been up 8 times since donning the Dodger uniform and has had 2 base hits. Now the pitch on the way. Outside and high, ball 1. Bob Miller is on call in the Dodger bullpen, and the Mets will be hitting against him in the last half of the 7th. The 1-0 delivery. Gets the outside corner, a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Al Ferrara on first. He reached on a walk. Down comes the pitch. A swing and a miss. Oh, he really gave that one a rip. That good sinking fastball by Tom Seaver. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Bottom dropped out on that sinker just at the right moment for Tom Seaver. The outfield deep and around toward right. The 1-2 pitch. It's over. Strike 3 call. Strikeout number 5 for Tom Seaver, and the side is out. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on. 7th inning stretch time. At the end of 6 1/2, the Mets 3 and the Dodgers 1. Last of the 7th, the crowd up for the 7th inning stretch. Bob Miller in the game now for the Los Angeles Dodgers. When the season opened, Bob was a starting pitcher. Bob has won none and lost 3 this year. His 3 losses came in starting assignments. He has neither won nor lost in relief roles. Bob's last 6 outings have all been in relief. Lifetime against the Mets, Bob Miller has won 4 and lost 4. And last year on the season, Bob was 4-2. Ron Peronowski, a busy relief pitcher, making his 20th appearance, and he got his job done in a hurry. Ron faced 2 hitters, retired both, then left the game for a pinch hitter. New York will present the middle of the batting order against Bob Miller in the home 7th inning. Ed Charles, Tommy Davis, and Jerry Butchek will be coming up. Big night for Ed Charles. Ed has 3 for 3 and has driven in 1 of the 3 runs. Charles has singled to center, single to left center, and single to right. Tomorrow night, Chuck Estrada will make his first start for the Mets. Chuck has had a bad cold, but was considerably better today, and he's looking forward to that first starting assignment. Biggest problem for a pitcher when he gets a bad cold is that it affects his breathing. Here's the pitch on the way. A foul ball off. Bob Miller with a 1-strike count on Ed Charles. New York 3, Los Angeles 1, last of the 7th. Opening game of a 3-game visit by the Dodgers. Down comes the pitch. He ducks under, inside and high, 1 ball, 1 strike. For New York, Tommy Davis, Ed Charles, and Tom Seaver have driven the runs in. The Dodger run came on a home run by Ron Fairley in the 2nd inning. Pitching 1-1. Ground ball hit hard toward the hole, backhanded by Gene Michael. His throw in the dirt can't be handled by Wes Parker, and Charles is on. Now we'll check the scoring. That was a tough play. That's going to be a base hit for Charles, and he is 4 for 4. Ed Charles has the distinction of becoming the first man on the ball club this year to get 4 hits in 1 game. Tommy Davis has had about 4 3-hit games. Tommy Davis 2 for 2 tonight. He also has been hit by a pitch. Tommy's batting average is now .313. Michael from deep short, after making the backhand play, had to get all he could on that throw to have any chance at all. Now the pitch on the way, and the breaking ball, a check swing, and it's outside, ball 1. Now Tommy Davis checks the signs with Salty Parker, the third base coach. Wes Parker, a slick fielder around first base, holding against the runner, Ed Charles. Now a throw to first by Bob Miller. It's not in time. Now the pitch by Bob Miller. A drive hit on the button by Davis to left for a base hit. Taken on the first out by Ferrara, and Charles will stop at second base. Well, there's the 5th ball game this year that Tommy Davis has had 3 hits. And tonight the Mets are playing only their 31st game of the year.
Jerry Buchek.
Don Bosch had been playing catch in the bullpen, and now Don is coming in from the bullpen. He may come in the game right now as a pinch runner. Don Bosch will relieve Tommy Davis, and Tommy leaves the game with 3 for 3.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, for New York, at first base, running for Davis, number 17, Don Bosch. Number 17.
Don Bosch in the game as a pinch runner. Now the hitter is Jerry Buchek, and the Dodger infield looks for the bunt. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Now Bob Miller in the set position. Here's the pitch on the way. He squares around, jumps away. It's inside, ball 1. So Tommy Davis leading the ball game after reaching base 4 times in a row. Tommy had 3 for 3. He also was hit by a pitch. The Mets playing their 31st game of the year, and already in 5 games, Tommy Davis has had 3 hits. Tommy with 3 hits tonight, raising his total for the year to 36. Tommy is the club leader by a fairly substantial margin in total hits. Also leads the club in 2 base hits with 8. It's just 1 RBI behind Crane Poole, the club leader. Dodgers looking for the bunt. The pitch to Buchek, swung on and fouled, hit back toward the Dodger dugout, no play. 1 ball, 1 strike. The way it's been going, both clubs, the Dodgers and the Mets, certainly should be happy with the trade they made. Tommy Davis playing superbly for New York, and Ron Hunt has been playing well for the Dodgers. Bob Miller checks the runners. Now the pitch. Bunted foul by Buchek. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tommy Davis, with that last base hit, his 3rd of the night, raised his batting average to .319. Tommy was hitting an even .300 when the game started, so he gained 19 points tonight. But speaking of a batting game, Ed Charles, with 4 for 4 tonight, raised his batting average 122 points. The 1-2 pitch, a foul ball back into the crowd. Ed started the game hitting .238. He now is hitting .360. Ed has been up only 25 times, whereas Tommy Davis has already been up 113 times. It's 1-2 on Jerry Buchek. Ed Charles on second. Don Bosch is on first. Nobody out. Now the pitch by Miller. Curve is high. He lays off. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mets trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Additional warm-up action in the Dodger bullpen. Left-hander Dick Egan is warming up. Curve, a swing and a miss. Miller struck him out. First strikeout for Bob Miller. It brings up Cleon Jones. Cleon hit down on the ball hard and sent a high skipper into left field for a single his last time up. So Cleon is 1 for 3. Ron Swoboda is the on-deck batter. Now the stretch by Miller. Down comes the pitch. And a smash hit through the middle. A base hit by Cleon Jones. Rounding third and heading in is Charles. He'll score standing up, and Vice goes to third. And that's lead 4-1. A hard shot hit right through the box by Cleon Jones. Well, Cleon may be on his way. Now Ron Swoboda coming up with 2 men on. Ron has been up 3 times tonight, and he was struck out all 3 times by Bill Singer. The last few ball games, Ron has gotten himself confused a little bit. He'll try to get himself on track, figure out what he's doing wrong. He has struck out 8 times in his last 9 official at-bats. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball over, strike 1 call. Ron was going good, and Bob Gibson put him on a slump. Gibson struck him out 4 times. That's enough to make anybody worry. Here's the pitch on the way. And it's a blooper hit out in the shallow right center. It is Lafayette, a base hit. Price is in to score. On his way to third is Cleon. He goes there standing up. And the Mets lead 5-1. Miller jams Swoboda, and Ron, hitting the ball off the bat handle, hit a soft liner beyond the reach of Hunt into short right center field for a run-scoring single. That brings Walter Alston out of the dugout. Run batted in for Ron Swoboda. And the Mets now have scored 2 runs on 4 hits off Bob Miller. Dick Egan, a left-hander, is warming in the bullpen. The Mets have Johnny Sullivan, a left-hand hitter, coming up. So we're waiting for Ron Peronowski. Beg your pardon, we're waiting for Walter Alston to send the sign out. Now the sign goes out for Dick Egan. He'll be coming in the ball game, and while he makes the trip, we'll pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
Hi, neighbor. At 5:45 a.m., we hope you'll be on hand for the Chanticleer. At 12:15, our theme, Bread, Love, and Dreams, introduces Farm Paper.
Here on WGY, Schenectady.
Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kiner from Shea Stadium. The Dodgers making a pitching change. The Mets have moved in front 5-1. And Dick Egan spent last year with Spokane and with the Angels. At Spokane, he won 8 and lost 1. He has no record against New York. This year, working exclusively in relief, Dick Egan has won 1 and lost 1. He beat St. Louis in a relief role on April 24th and lost the ball game to the Pirates in relief. So Dick Egan has won 1 and lost 1. He will be the 4th Dodger pitcher. Ron Peronowski came on in the 6th inning, faced 2 hitters, retired both, then left the game for a pinch hitter. Now Bob Miller has been knocked out by New York, and Egan comes in to face John Sullivan. Bob Miller worked 1/3 of an inning. At the moment, Bob has given up 2 runs, allowed 4 hits, walked none, and struck out 1. Egan throwing in his warm-ups. Dick Egan, tall left-hander, obtained from the Angels by the Dodgers. They go to the 7th inning at Baltimore now, with the Orioles leading the Yankees 7-0. Tom Phoebus pitching for the Birds. Left-hander against left-hander. John Sullivan batting against Dick Egan. Runners at first and third. 2 runs are in, 1 man out. Here's the pitch on the way, and against the outside corner for a call strike. Giants broke through against Jim Bunning to get a run and tie that ball game up at Connie Mack Stadium. They tied it up on a home run by Stretch McCovey in the 7th inning. Next pitch, the runner goes, hit and run, and a foul ball hit under the feet of Yogi Berra. Ball was hit hard by John Sullivan on a hit-and-run play with Swoboda going. And now a 2-strike count. They're in the last of the 8th inning at Philadelphia with the Giants and the Phils tied 1-1. Willie Stargell hit a 2-run homer in the Astrodome, and the Pirates lead Houston 3-1 at the end of 6 1/2. Tommy Sisk against Chris Zachary. Two-strike delivery, a swing and a miss. He changed up on his breaking ball and struck him out. That will bring up Tom Seaver. Tom is getting a nice hand.
Pitcher, Tom Seaver, number 41.
Tom has reached on a walk. That was in the third inning his first time up, and when he did, it marked the 5th consecutive time he'd been on base. He was on base 4 times in a row in his last start against the Atlanta Braves. He had a single, 2 doubles, and a walk and a stolen base, and he got a stolen base in the third inning tonight. He bunted a run home his last time up. Pitch by Egan is under the knees, ball 1. Seaver, a good athlete. 2 runs are in. New York in front 5-1, bottom half of the 7th. Now Egan eyes the runners. Here's the pitch off the stretch. A swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Second game of the series tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And the wind-up game Wednesday night. Chuck Estrada will start tomorrow night and Jack Fisher on Wednesday night. One ball, 1 strike. Now Egan checks the runners, and the pitch thrown, a check swing and a foul ball off to the right, no play. And again, Ron Swoboda was running on the play. Ed Charles and Don Bish have both come in to score here in the last of the 7th. Dick Egan, tall left-hander, working in relief. With an advantage on the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now throws to first base, not in time. Here's the stretch. And another throw to first. Pitching 1 and 2. The runner goes. The pitch is over. Strike 3 called. So Egan came out of the bullpen to strike out 2 and retire the side. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 2 left on. 7 inning totals. The New York Mets, 5 runs, 12 hits, and no errors. The Los Angeles Dodgers, 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. So we'll be going to the 8th inning with Tom Seaver on the mound for New York, and he'll be facing the top of the Dodger batting order. The Giants are out without scoring in the top of the 8th inning in Philadelphia. Giants won and the Phillies won at the end of 7 1/2 in a pitching duel between Gaylord Perry and Jim Bunning. Tommy Sisk dueling Chris Zachary in the Astrodome, and a 2-run homer by Willie Stargell has Pittsburgh leading Houston 3-1 at the end of 7 innings. In the American League, Baltimore has hit 3 home runs, including the 10th of the year by Frank Robinson. That makes him number 1 in the American League. Other home runs, solo home runs by Dave Johnson and Andy Etchebarren. And the Orioles lead the Yankees 7-0. They're in the bottom half of the 7th. Tom Phoebus, the Baltimore pitcher. Fred Talbot was the Yankee starter, followed by Thad Tillotson and Jim Bouton. Minnesota leading the White Sox 4-2 at the end of 2. But in the 3rd inning, Jim Cott has been knocked out, and Jim Perry has come in. So the White Sox may be scoring. Cleveland blanked Washington 5-0 on a 4-hit shutout by Steve Hargan. I believe that may be Hargan's 3rd shutout. It's his 5th win of the year, and the loser was Camilo Pascual. Home runs by Lee May and Chuck Hinton. Bosch is in the lineup now, playing center field, and Cleon Jones has moved to left.
First baseman, West.
Tomorrow night, first annual fraternal night at Shea, with over 25,000 members of the Masons and Knights of Columbus organizations in attendance. It'll make a lot of fun and a wonderful evening. Wes Parker is up against Tom Seaver in the 8th inning. And he takes high, ball 1. Parker has struck out, bounced to the mound, and bounced out to second, nothing for 3. Wes hitting .243. Off-speed pitch this in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Parker had a field day against Mets pitching last year. He hit .341. He hit 6 of his total of 12 home runs against the Mets. Now the 1-1 delivery. Outside and high, 2-1. Top of the 8th inning, 5-1 New York. 2-1 delivery. And he misses a little bit outside, and now Seaver is behind 3-1. Tom Seaver has walked 2 and struck out 5, allowed 1 run on a home run to Ron Fairley, and given up just 4 hits. The 3-1 pitch, and it's over for a strike, 3-2. Parker hit 6 homers against the Mets last year, and he hit 5 of the 6 here at Shea. Here's the payoff delivery. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Seaver is showing he has plenty left. He was behind 3-1, and he comes back to strike out Parker. And that is his 6th strikeout.
Second baseman, Ron Hunt, number 33.
Now the hitter is Ron Hunt. Ron has grounded out to third and twice flied to right, nothing for 3. Ron batting .265, has 11 RBIs. Foul ball back into the screen. Tom Seaver, with his 6 strikeouts here this evening, has raised his club-leading total on the year now to 37. Don Cardwell is second with 31. One out and nobody on in the 8th inning. Here's the pitch. And it's popped up in foul ground over toward the home dugout, maybe out of play. And it lands in the first row of the field boxes behind the dugout. Cranepool and Sullivan both got over there, hoping for a play. And we hope you're planning to join us for all the fun here at Shea tomorrow night. Don Drysdale will be pitching for the Dodgers. Drysdale has been pitching brilliantly. Dodger followers feel that Drysdale this year has pitched as well, if not better, than any time during his career. His record is 3-3, but he has the best earned run average in the National League. Seaver with a 2-strike count. Delivers. Fastball high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Don Drysdale's earned run average right now is 1.65. So Chuck Estrada draws a tough opponent for his first start in a Mets uniform. Pitching 1-2. Hit foul, an inside pitch that he pulls past the Dodger dugout. Willie Davis kneeling in the on-deck circle. Ron Fairley to follow. Now Seaver over the head, the 1-2 pitch. Curve hit on the ground slowly down to third. Charles to his glove side, up with it, throws to Cranepool, 2 down. 2 outs, nobody on. It brings up Willie Davis. Fans, when you pull the tab on the Rheingold Chug-a-Mug, the top comes off with a hiss that sounds like that good Rheingold flavor inside. 6 12-ounce mugs to the carton, and you'll find them in the Chug-a-Mug special display at your local stores in New York and New Jersey. Willie Davis 1 for 3 tonight. That was a single to right center leading off the 4th inning. A high fly, well hit to deep right field. Swoboda back to the bullpen. He won't get a play. It is gone for a home run. Lands in about the 2nd row of seats just beyond the auxiliary scoreboard in right field. For Willie Davis, his 2nd home run of the year. Ron Fairley homered in the 2nd, nobody on. So now it's 5-2 in favor of the Mets.
Fairley, number 6.
Ron Fairley's home run was his 5th, for Willie Davis his 2nd of the year. Now Fairley is up. And the pitch is foul back into the screen. Dodgers have 2 runs on 5 hits, and 2 of their 5 hits have been home runs. Fairley, since connecting for the home run, has popped to second and flied deep to center. Down comes the pitch by Tommy Seaver, and a slow curve is taken low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ron Fairley. Ron, the Dodger leader in home runs and runs batted in. He has 21 RBIs, and he's hitting .269. The 1-1 pitch off the outside corner. Ron is one of those talented young ball players who made it to the big leagues in a hurry, and as a result is now what you would call a young veteran. Two balls and a strike on Ron Fairley. A high fly ball hit near the right field line. Everybody going after it. Buchek way out there makes the catch. Jerry Buchek well into right field and over toward the line makes the grab on Ron Fairley. That's the second time tonight Buchek has gone rather deep into right field. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and none left. And at the end of 7.5 innings, the New York Mets 5 and the Los Angeles Dodgers 2.
Armory Garage proudly announces the arrival of its 5th annual Imperial Week. Stop in at the corner of Central and Colvin in Albany and see the full Imperial line. Treat yourself to a test drive and experience the quiet ride, the elegant interiors, and the luxurious extras that are standard equipment on these beauties. Let the Armory salesman show you how you can own an Imperial for far less than you expect. Armory's volume is one reason why they can put you behind the wheel of the newest luxury car in a decade at the lowest possible price. Used car sales are up, and Armory will give you top trade on your present car. Another reason why smart car buyers check Armory first. Learn how you can buy, sign, and pay at Armory, where terms are tailored to suit your budget. Or learn how you can lease a new Imperial at Armory. Isn't it time you experience the luxury, the prestige of a precision-built automobile? Stop in at Armory Garage, Central at Colvin, Albany, during Imperial Week for the best buy on Imperial 67, the newest prestige car in a decade.
Last of the 8th inning, and Bud Harrelson will be hitting right-handed against left-hander Dick Egan. Egan came out of the bullpen to strike out Johnny Sullivan and Tom Seaver to retire the Mets in the 7th after the Mets had tallied twice. And Bud pushes a bunt, but it is foul off to the right, strike 1. Bud Harrelson, Eddie Cranepool, and Ed Charles come up against Dick Egan. The Dodgers have Joe Moeller on call in their bullpen now. And the pitch to Harrelson whips over the inside corner, strike 2. Bud has reached on a walk. He was robbed of a hit on a shoestring grab by Willie Davis. Has bounced out and flied to center, nothing for 3. 2-strike delivery, inside and low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Egan's 1-2 pitch is inside, and the count is even now at 2-2. Dodgers have hit home runs for their 2 runs tonight. 5 different men have driven in the 5 runs for New York. Tommy Davis, Ed Charles, Tom Seaver, Cleon Jones, and Ron Swoboda have each knocked in 1 run. Pitching 2-2. Low outside, and the string is out, 3-2. Tommy Davis putting together quite a night against his old teammates. Tommy was up 4 times. He was on base all 4. He was hit by a pitch, and he had 3 for 3. A fly ball lifted into the air to right center. Willie Davis with those long strides galloping over, and he takes it easily for the out. And Willie starts loping across that outfield. It looks like he covers about 5 yards of stride.
Cranepool, number 7.
Now Eddie Cranepool. Eddie has one hit, a double, and 4 times up. He had another hit taken away from him on a diving play by Ron Hunt. That play by Hunt early in the ball game helped to choke off what might have been a big inning. And it's under the knees, ball 1. Eddie hitting .341, 4th highest average of the National League. And it's on the outside corner, a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. The amazing Roberto Clemente of the Pirates is far in front. Now Dick Egan, the tall left-hander, whips it sidearm, and it's a bloop out towards short left field. Hustling in is Ferrara. He gets there, and he makes the catch. 2 down in the bottom half of the 8th inning. It'll bring up Ed Charles. Well, Ed has the distinction of being the first player on the club to get 4 hits in 1 game this year. He has raised his batting average 122 points tonight. And now is hitting .360. The Mets have 12 hits. Outside and low, it's ball 1. And Ed Charles and Tommy Davis, hitting 3rd and 4th in the order, accounted for 7 of the 12 hits. Next pitch on the way. Change up, a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 delivery by the lefty. A breaking ball swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Egan appears the type of tall left-hander that has a motion that is not easy to follow. A lot of arms and legs. The 1-2 delivery. Inside around the knees, it's 2-2. Don Bosch, who came in the ball game as a runner for Tommy Davis, is now in the on-deck circle. Pitching 2-2. Change up, a pop foul cutting back into the crowd. Let's check and see if there's anything later now on those 2 pitching duels in the National League. The Giants and Phillies are in the 9th inning, tied up 1-1 with Perry hooked up against Jim Budding. 2-2 delivery. Fly ball hit down the right field line. Running hard is Ron Fairley. Going over in the corner, he makes the catch. Fairley ranging all the way to the right field corner where he made the grab. And the side is out in the last of the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. At the end of 8, the score, the New York Mets 5 and the Los Angeles Dodgers 2. Now here's a word from Rheingold.
I had $200 in a plane ticket one way to New York. And it was all looked like it was just happening, just, like I would have wanted it to. But it's a hard town.
No, I think it's a simple town. If you have any qualities at all to offer.
People like new faces. And if they like yours, you're great. If not...
Every place I go, they want me to have experience. And I can't get any more experience unless I do get a job. And thus, I am stuck.
It's just, you've got to know what you're doing. Either you're good or you're not.
And in this town, you can't fake it. You either have it or you don't. Take beer. Take Rheingold. There are 302 beers in the city, but the only one that's made it to the top is Rheingold. You gotta be good to make it in New York. Rheingold makes it. In this town, either you have it or you don't.
9th inning here at Shea Stadium. The Mets leading 5-2. Tom Seaver will be facing Jim Lefebvre, John Roseboro, and Al Ferrara. Jim Lefebvre, Dodger third baseman, has 1 hit and 3 times up. He singled behind Fairley's home run back in the 2nd inning. Jim Lefebvre knocked in 74 runs last year. This year he has driven in 18. And the breaking ball is over. Strike 1 call. The outfield swung around to right. Just off the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. Seaver has moved the ball around well and changed speeds effectively. Tom has walked 2 and struck out 6. His 1-1 pitch. Foul ball hit back upstairs, no play. Now Lefebvre cocks the bat off the shoulder. Here's the pitch to him. Ground ball hammered fair down the first baseline. Cranepool races to the bag, takes it himself, 1 down. Johnny Roseboro has lined hard to center field. Received what amounted to an intentional walk when Seaver pitched around him in the 4th inning and popped to short. Roseboro, nothing for 2. Johnny is hitting an even .300. 10-year veteran. Now Seaver cranks up. Down comes his pitch. Check swing grounder down the first baseline. Fair ball. Easy play for Cranepool. He steps on the bag, 2 outs. Roseboro didn't mean to hit that one. He was trying to check it. Now Al Ferrara, the left fielder. Tom Seaver trying to post his 4th complete game. For Tom, this is his 8th start. If he gets it, he'll have 4 of the 7 complete games turned in by the pitching staff. Now the pitch on the way, and it's a strike on the inside corner. Al Ferrara has been called out, bounced out to short, and reached on a walk. Pitch to the right-hand hitter. Curve is a foul pop coming back over the screen and dropping into the crowd. Now Tommy Seaver has a 2-strike count. Down comes the pitch to him, fouled off the mask of John Sullivan. Now Tom Seaver with a count of 2 strikes. Looks into Johnny Sullivan. The windup, here's the pitch to him, curved way outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Mets were badly in need of a root-going performance by a pitcher to serve as a stopper, as they took the field tonight, endeavoring to snap a 5-game losing streak. When you hit a losing streak, that's when you need a real well-pitched ball game. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. The game is over. Seaver blew the fastball by Al Ferrara for his 7th strikeout of the ball game. And manager Wes Westrom comes out of the dugout to greet and congratulate his young rookie pitcher, Tom Seaver, who has just stopped the Dodgers on a 5-hitter. In the 9th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. Final score, the New York Mets 5 and the Los Angeles Dodgers 2.
Bill Stoneberg used to work at the bank in his hometown. But now he has a tougher job. He gets up at 4 in the morning instead of 8:30. Doesn't take a bus to work anymore. He walks, sometimes for miles. He doesn't take an hour for lunch. He's lucky if he can get lunch at all. Bill Stoneberg is in the infantry, based in Vietnam. On his feet most of the day, or his belly. He doesn't carry a briefcase. He's got a pack and a rifle instead. Bill Stoneberg accepts his tough job because he knows the importance of the words freedom and democracy. He knows better than most of us ever will. By the way, there's another thing Bill's doing for his country. He's buying United States savings bonds every payday where he works. Think about it next time you go to the bank.
Final score tonight at Shea Stadium, the Mets 5 and the Los Angeles Dodgers 2, and the man of the hour, young Tom Seaver, is now over in the visiting dugout being interviewed by Dodger broadcaster Jerry Doggett back to Los Angeles. And back in Los Angeles right now, it's only 7:30 in the evening. Tom is from Los Angeles, and you can bet that his mother and dad are listening to the ball game, and they'll be mighty happy to hear Tom Seaver talking with Jerry Doggett back to Los Angeles. For Tom Seaver, he served as the stopper, putting the brakes to a 5-game losing streak. The young right-hander has now started 8 games and completed 4 of the 8. He has 4 of 7 complete games turned by the staff. Seaver, going all the way, scattered 5 hits. He gave up 2 runs on home runs by Ron Fairley and Willie Davis. Seaver, winning tonight, gets his 4th win against 2 losses. The loser was the Dodger starter, Bill Singer. He now has won none and lost 2. The Mets took the lead in the first inning of the ball game with Tommy Davis driving home the run. And Tommy went on to have 3 for 3 in tonight's game and raised his average 19 points up to 319. The second run was driven home by Ed Charles, and at the time the score was tied 1-1, and the Mets were never headed after that. And this was quite a night for Ed Charles, who became the first member of the ball club to get 4 hits in one game. He wound up with 4 for 5. Cleon Jones also had 2 for 4. Cleon drove in a run. Tom Seaver bunted a run home, and Ron Swoboda drove in a run. The paid crowd was 15,250. Tomorrow night, Chuck Estrada against Don Drysdale. Game time, 8 p.m. The line scored tonight, the New York Mets 5 runs, 12 hits, no errors, 10 left. The Dodgers 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 5 left. Winner, Tom Seaver, now 4-2. The loser, Bill Singer. Bill has won none and lost 2.
New York Mets baseball has been brought to you by Rheingold Beer as another in his continuing parade of major sports events.